Hello, hello, and welcome back to Unchartered and Unfiltered. I am your host, Cynthia Jamison, and if you are new to me and my work, I am so glad that you're here. Welcome, welcome. And if you've been here since the beginning or somewhere in between, welcome back. Today, I want to dive into a message that I first wrote to myself, but maybe, just maybe, you might need to hear this message too. I have been, like many of you, just impacted by noticing, being aware of all of the changes that are happening within the world. And I think it would be a fair statement to say that there's a lot of what can seem like feelings of chaos happening as a result. And there is a choice that we all need to make about how we respond to the chaos in the world. And it's clearer than ever to me that I can't afford to ignore it anymore. The world feels like it's spinning out of control, and it's so easy to get swept up in that energy. And if I'm swept up in that energy, it's easy for me to sweep the people around me, the relationships that I have, those individuals into that energy with me. It's easy for me to do that with my team in the workplace. It's easy to do that with my family. It's easy to do that with another human being because we are all human beings. And depending on the energy that we bring, we have the ability to, if I feel hijacked, I'm going to hijack other people, knowingly or unknowingly. And so, with that said, here's the truth: fear is going to show up, but I have the choice of how I respond to it, and so do you. This is a choice that I think we often don't realize that we have, and we often don't realize that we are outsourcing that choice to something outside of us. So for me personally, when I let fear take the wheel, I give away my energy. I give away my power. I give away my choice. I give away my present moment. And the reality is, when I peel all of those things away, I do get to choose. Will I let the chaos or the political, the economic, the societal, the environmental climates dictate my mindset? Or will I recognize those circumstances for what they are and take control of what I can, how I show up, how I manage my energy, how I make decisions, where and how I contribute, and the mindset that I choose to lead with? So when I choose fear, whether again, consciously or unconsciously, it becomes harder to be fully present or show up as the leader that I want to be, truly. And that brings me to a framework that has helped me and my clients immensely navigate these moments. It is called the CTFAR model, which was created by Brooke Castillo. Now, CTFAR stands for circumstances, thoughts, feelings, actions, and results. And so, in the context of this model, the circumstances are neutral events, like the chaos in the world, the state of politics today, a global crisis, personal transitions, things we cannot control but still have influence over our response, like moving to a new home, which I have been doing, and I've been bringing you along the journey with me. Thoughts are the stories that we tell ourselves about those circumstances. Brooke likes to talk about thoughts as they're just sentences in your brain. And when we take them out of our brain and just take a look at them, we can see them for the stories that they are. Feelings are how those thoughts make us feel, and actions stem from those feelings. And the results are what we create in our lives based on those actions. So when the world feels chaotic, my circumstances don't change. However, the thoughts that I have change or shape my feelings, and ultimately they they change how I show up. This model is a simple yet incredibly powerful tool to bring awareness to how much control we truly have over our experiences. And spoiler alert, it's more than you think. So I want to bring this to life with a personal story. So 2 months, two moves, one powerful realization. Let me explain. So exactly 2 months ago, on December the 7th, 2024, give me a few days here, um, I moved into an Airbnb. It was a temporary pause between chapters. And last Friday, I'm very happy to say, on February the 7th, 2025, I moved into our new to us home. So my circumstance was moving twice in 2 months, and that could have been stressful. But the thoughts that I chose were this is a fresh start, and I am exactly where I need to be. Made me feel grounded and excited for what was to come. Now, those feelings led me to show up fully present, embracing the transition with ease and joy. And I just want to just extrapolate from this a little bit, because I kept pulling on those thoughts that I chose to think as it related to my transition, those thoughts enabled me to bring myself to different events, meet different people, participate in a running club on Mondays and Wednesdays, participate in a pub choir every other week, participate in Zumba, do all these different things that I wouldn't have done if I didn't choose those thoughts, because I could have been wrapped in my own mind in more stressful thoughts that kept me kind of hiding or kept me at home and didn't feel like it was like I was exactly where I would need to be and that this is a fresh start. Because when I thought that it was a fresh start, I was like, okay, it's so fresh. Let me go see what is this is a canvas in front of me. I get to paint it. So, this transition for me did not feel like a challenge. It felt easeful. It felt fun. It felt welcoming. My husband and I are actually talking about how much fun we are having as a result of all. I mean, there's plenty of work to be done, and I keep coming back to this is the fresh start, and I'm exactly where I need to be, and then I don't feel like I need to rush. And so for me, every moment reaffirmed that I was exactly where I needed to be. And it helped me embody a sense of home that I have never felt before. And it made me realize that sometimes the biggest shifts in life or in our career do not come from struggle. They come when we are open to new possibilities. I can live my life from a place of fear and angst and worry, or I can live my life from a place of peace and love and joy. Both are available to me. Now, there is something particularly that struck me. If you reduce both of those dates for the two moves that I mentioned, so December the 7th, 2024, and February the 7th, 2025, to a single digit, they each equal 9. Why is that important? Well, here's a concept I have never talked about on the podcast before, but in numerology, the number 9 represents completion, fulfillment, and the closing of a chapter. It's the number that brings things full circle, allowing us to let go of what was and make space for what could be. And it makes the reflection of this CTFAR model in action, and it was also what I like to call a numerological coincidence. Now, let me take you back a bit. So, in 2012, and I've talked about this on the podcast before, so I'm not going to get into that, but that's when I stumbled upon numerology, and it changed how I view the world and leadership. And I've never spoken about that on the podcast before. But at the time, I was trying to make sense of some of the chaos in my life at the time. And numerology offered me a fresh perspective. And that's what I'm inviting you into here today. It gave me a deeper understanding of the energy surrounding us, and it helped me tap into a sense of purpose and alignment. So, for leaders, numerology can, if you choose it to be a tool for self awareness and understanding the larger cycles at play in life and business. It can help you see where you might be resisting change, where you're aligned with your path, and how you could work with the energy of your own unique situation. Numerology helped me recognize that there is power in understanding the phases that we go through, both as an individual and as a collective. And so, as we navigate leadership challenges, which we're navigating right now in the world, numerology can guide us toward more intentional choices. So, just like in my move, I can reflect on the bigger picture and ask myself, what is the chapter that I'm completing? What energy am I bringing to the table? So, what does this mean for you? Numerology just it isn't just about personal milestones. 2025, if you reduce those numbers to one number, it is a 9 year for the collective. So, what does that mean? A 9 year signals a time of completion and letting go. Again, not just for individuals, but for society as a whole. It's a chance to reflect on what chapters we need to close, both personally and collectively, to make room for new beginnings. And we're seeing that play out on the world stage. So, whether you're facing a career transition, personal growth, navigating the chaos of the world, it's the perfect time to ask yourself, what am I holding on to that no longer serves me? What thoughts can I shift to feel more empowered in my current circumstances? Because your experience matters. How can I show up as the leader that I want to be, even when things feel uncertain? Because all of that is happening outside of you. And so let's bring it home. When I think about my clients, especially when they're feeling probably much like you are at this moment listening to this, maxed out, here's what I do. I acknowledge how they feel because, of course, those feelings are valid. Of course, it can feel chaotic with everything that's happening out there. And then I guide them through breath work, just helping them connect their mind and their body. And this isn't breath work on a yoga mat, although that's amazing. And if you haven't tried it and you you want to, that can be absolutely incredible and life-changing. But it can be as simple as just taking a pause and an intentional breath. I also challenge the stories that they're telling themselves, and I do the same for me. I help them and myself reframe the limiting beliefs that keep us all stuck because we are, at the end of the day, merely human. And I just want to offer it's all a part of the practice, but with intention behind every step. So here's your call to action. I can't control everything, but I always have the power to choose how I respond, even if that means showing up imperfectly sometimes. And that's enough. So as you reflect on your own life, what are the circumstances that you're facing right now in this moment? What are the thoughts that you are having about those circumstances? And how are those thoughts shaping your feelings and your actions? And what are all of those circumstances, thoughts, feelings creating for you from a result perspective? This is the practice. Just like numerology's 9 year of completion, it's about closing one chapter with intention so that you can step fully into the next. And the CTFAR model can help you lead yourself through it, one intentional choice at a time. And so the question that I'm asking myself is, what am I going to do with my power today? And what will you do with yours? So if this episode resonated with you, I would love to hear about a recent change that felt unexpectedly right. Share your story with me on social media or leave a review. It means the world to hear from you. And with that, thank you so much for tuning in to Unchartered and Unfiltered. Until next time, keep leading with intention. Goodbye. I hope that you're walking away feeling more aligned with your true self, more confident in the choices ahead, and ready to leave the safe path behind, knowing you've got everything you need within. Remember, the journey to you isn't about finding one perfect direction. It's about trusting yourself enough to explore all of it. If you're ready to dive deeper, join me for the next episode, and don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss the next step on your path. I invite you to join my mailing list at www.cynthiajamesoncoach.ca, where we'll deepen our relationship and you can claim your copy of Your Inner Compass, a guide to charting your course to authenticity. Until next time, stay unfiltered, stay true, and most importantly, stay you.